What's happening, people? Zion's Opinion coming at you with another video, a dating advice video for the man them. Some of you man them go on a date and you ask some bland, boring questions. You don't know exactly what to say when you're on the date to spark interest and attraction. Well, this video is for you. I got 20 questions you could ask a date, so stay tuned for the video. Number one, you could ask her, what's your favorite love language? A love language is like, okay, love language could be kissing, cuddling, touching, a massage, you know, any of those four. Or, yeah, cuddling. Did I say cuddle already? I'm not sure. Rewind the video and see. But yeah, that's a great question to ask a woman. What is your favorite love language? Trust me, that will open up Pandora's box right there. Remember, the key is to go on these dates to open up Pandora's box, to build attraction between you and her. You don't want to be asking boring, bland questions. Number two, what makes you feel special? Yeah, this is just getting inside a woman's head. One of these questions that's, opening up a woman's mind to see, what she's thinking. Yeah, it's an interesting question to ask a woman, which, you want to get them juices flowing. So you got to ask that question, what makes you feel special? And see what she said. It could be her favorite hobby, it could be a job, going away on holiday, whatever, maybe a cuddle, a kiss, whatever, but you want to get in the mind of, what she's thinking, you want to unlock Pandora's box. You get me, bruv? Number three, what's your favorite guilty pleasure? Yes, that's right. What's your favorite guilty pleasure? A woman's guilty pleasure could be, it could be junk food, her favorite song, could be pornography, you know, could be her favorite soap opera. Who knows what it could be? You never know. It could be something even not naughty as well. You never know. But you just have to ask to spark, attempt to spark interest and attraction. You don't want to be on this first date asking boring, bland questions and talking about religion and politics and all of them things there. You have to you have to dive deep. You want to spark interest and develop attraction, so that later on you could get some satisfaction, if it goes there. Number four, trust me, this question is deadly. You ask a woman, where do you like to be touched? Boy, I asked a girl this once, on the first date. You know what she said to me? My breast. I was like, wow, I weren't expecting that. But boy, you see, I didn't even expect that answer. She came out with, I like to be touched on my breast. Boy, well, if that what she wants on her first date, bruv, go for it, fam. Don't hold back. If she wants to be touched on the breast, the body, the thighs, wherever, as long as she gives you permission to touch, go for it, 100%. Yeah, number five. What's your favorite body part on a man? Boy, women got their favorite body parts as well. Believe it or not, if you ask her what's your favorite body part on a man, and she says abs, boy, if you got them abs, lift up your shirt and make her touch them abs. You get me? Make her feel up the hard work you've been putting in the gym, boy. And if you ain't got abs, boy, you know ask her to select something else. It could be, you got nice arms, you got nice cheeks, a nice nose, whatever body part she likes, nice ears, whatever. But you want to break the touch barrier between you and her. You want to dive deep into Pandora's box, unlock Pandora's box. Number six, what's your best quality? Hey, this is a very interesting question to ask a woman. It's really getting, intimate. It's getting deep down into the mind of a woman, right? So you have to ask this question. What's your best quality? She could say that she could say that she's caring. She could say she's comforting. She could say that she's an agreeable woman. She could say that she could cook. She's good in bed. Whatever her quality is, as long as you're trying to spark attraction and interest, that's the aim of the game. So ask her, what is your best quality? Yes, and see what she says. Trust me, you can't fail with that one. It's bound to be something interesting. Number seven, what is your best feature? Boy, that's a very intimate one. I asked a girl this question one time. You know what she said to me? Her kitty cat, her front. You know, I'm not gonna say that word just in case YouTube try to censor me. But front kitty cat. If you catch my drift, then you know what I mean. Yeah, ask her what her favorite body part is, and she may not even say her front. It could be her nice bunda, you know, her thighs, her breasts, her smile, whatever, her hair, her facial features, whatever it could be. But ask that question: what's your best feature? Trust me, you can't fail with that one. That is chicken. That is seasoning on the chicken right there. Go for it, fellas. Number 8. What's the worst date you ever been on? Trust me, every woman has a story to tell. If you ask her that question, I'm guarantee you she has a story to tell, because I've asked women these questions and tell me they've told me some very interesting but scary stories about the worst dates that they've been on. This girl said that this guy, you know tried grab her from behind, and he was just a weirdo on the date. This short little guy grabbed her from behind, and he was just a little weirdo. But hey, you're trying to get into the head, the mind, so everything else can fall into place. Fellas, when you're on these dates, don't ask these boring bland questions. Ask these questions I'm giving you, to spark interest and attraction, so you can get the satisfaction, if you know what I mean. Number 9. What makes you smile these days? Hey, it's a pretty straightforward question. Whatever makes her smile. It could be her favorite hobby, going to the gym, picking up her kids up from school. If you're interested in dating single mothers, whatever, cooking, cleaning, twerking, shaking her bum, whatever makes her smile. And if there's nothing making her smile right now, then you could be the one to make her smile these days. So, fellas, jump in and ask her that question. What's making you smile these days? Ask her. You can't go wrong with that. Number 10. What's your favorite date? Hey, that's, when you ask a woman that question, you're opening up the box right there. You're opening up the box right there, because you're trying to dive deep and learn them little secrets on what makes her tick. What are them dates you want to take her on. If the first date was successful, you want to take her on the second date, and that will be even more successful. The aim of the game here is to build attraction, so it could lead to some satisfaction, if you know what I mean, fellas. So get in there and ask her, what's your favorite date? It could be, going to a museum, could be going to get some cocktail, could be going to get some ice cream, or just for a walk at the park, in the, having a picnic in the park, or holding hands in the park, or whatever, on a nice sunny day. Whatever it is, jump in there and ask her, what's your favorite date? Can't go wrong with that, fellas. Number 11. How good are your cuddling skills? Trust me, fellas, you can't go wrong. You want to break that little touch barrier. You want to see how intimate and how touchy feely this woman is. So, this is a great question to ask her. What are your, how good are your cuddling skills? And she could probably rate it probably a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10. Boy, you know but whatever it is, if it's a 5 out of 10, you could elevate that to a 10 out of 10. So fellas, jump in there and ask women that question: how good are your cuddling skills? Right, you can't go wrong with that. You want to break the touch barrier. You want to make her know that you want to get touchy feely, as time goes on. You get me? You're not on a plutonic thing. you know you're on an intimate flex right here. You're not trying to keep it on a friendly platonic thing. Now you're trying to elevate the thing to, intimacy. That's right, fellas. Jump in and ask. 12 is kind of linked to, number 11. How good are your cuddling skills? And if she says, yeah, my cuddling skills are 5, 10, 15, whatever, you could ask her, do you like do you like big spoon or little spoon? If you don't know what big spoon and little spoon is, Google it. Trust me. Everyone has a phone nowadays. Google it. I ain't got time to explain it in that video, but if you want to know what big spoon and little spoon is, go Google it. Trust me. You want to elevate the game. You want to change the game. You want to stop from asking women these boring, bland questions. You want to, get more intimate, for the interaction, to be satisfactory. You get me, fellas? So jump in and ask her that question. Does she like big spoon or little spoon? Jump in and ask her that. Number 13 is kind of a playful question, but this is how you want to keep the date, fellas. You want to keep the date fun and playful. You don't want to be too serious and talk about past relationships or religion and politics and all of them things there. Nah, you know, the aim of the game is to get in there, get into Pandora's box, get a bit of intimacy going. No platonic thing here, fellas. We're trying to break the platonic barrier and get to the intimacy level, you get me? So you can ask her, smash, marry, or kill. It could be her best friend, favorite celebrity, whoever. But the aim of the game is you're trying to keep the conversation on the date fun and playful, so you could get to the intimacy, so it builds, it builds interest. That's what you're trying to aim for, fellas. So jump in, ask her that question. Smash, marry, or kill. Ask. Keep the date fun and friendly. And playful. Not friendly, but fun and playful, if you get what I mean, fellas. 14. Are you the toxic one or the wholesome one in the relationship? Well, most women will say, yeah, I'm the wholesome one in the relationship. But, the aim of the game is to keep it fun and playful. You could play around with this question. Oh, if she could say, oh, she's the toxic one. You could say, raw, well, I have to keep my guard up when I'm with you then, I don't want you to infect me with any of that toxicity, like the pandemic, just a little joke, you're trying to keep the thing interesting, so it could lead to the next level, possibly lead to a second date. You don't want to go on a boring date asking them boring, bland, just soggy questions. You want to keep the questions playful and exciting, fellas. So jump in and ask her, is she the wholesome one or the toxic one in the relationship? That's a fun question, playful question to ask. So fellas, jump in and ask. Number 15. What's her favorite star sign? Ask her, what's your favorite star sign? She could say, oh, I'm a Libra, I'm a Taurus. We Tauruses are very stubborn. Yeah, I dated a Taurus, and yeah, Taurus they're very stubborn. Me personally, I'm not really into zodiacs like that, but it's the aim of the game, fellas. Remember, is to keep the conversation fun and playful. You're trying to build attraction so you could get some satisfaction. You get me, fellas? So keep the date fun and playful. No boring, soggy questions. Or where do you live, where your parents go? Yeah, them questions are interesting, but you want to get to the nitty gritty of the thing. You get me? Keep it light and playful. Bring some levity to the date, to the first date. Don't be boring. Some of you fellas ain't getting no love because you're boring. No romance because you're boring, fellas. Spice up the thing. People like spice. Women like spice with some rice. Don't be cold as ice. Nah, man, I'm trying to rhyme, but you know I'm going with that, fellas. Number 16. If you had 3 wishes, what would they be? Hey, it could be anything. She could wish for £1,000,000. She could wish for a big old mansion, or she could wish to be some guy's sugar daddy. Who knows? Whatever them 3 wishes are, whatever it is. But the aim of the game, fellas, remember, is to keep it light, fun, and playful. You don't want to be boring and soggy on the date, right? Because if you're boring and soggy on the first date, trust me, there ain't no second date happening, fam. Ain't no second date happening. So the aim of the game, keep it fun, light, and playful. Ask that question. If you had 3 wishes, what would they be? And see what she says. You're trying to get into the mind. You're trying to get into the mind before you can get into the body. Yeah, fellas. Follow these tips. Can't go wrong. Number 17. How good are your kissing skills? Hey, that's a very straightforward question. You wanna test them skills. You wanna, like boxing. You wanna throw jabs out there and, see how she responds. Keeping it fun, light, and playful. You wanna ask her, what are those kissing skills? And she could say, maybe 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever the number is, and then who knows, maybe you could get a first kiss on the first date. You want to break the touch barrier. You want to break down the barrier between you and her. You want to make her feel comfortable. You get me, fellas? The aim of the game is to make her feel comfortable in your presence. You want to build a good vibe so that she's comfortable with you. because you don't want her to be uncomfortable, because comfort ain't going to lead to nothing, fellas. You're going to go home with your willy in your hand, you get me? So ask this question, you know, how good are your kissing skills? Keep the conversation light, friendly, light, playful, and fun, you know? That's the aim of the game, fellas. All right. Number 18, we're still keeping it light, fun, and playful. You know, you can ask her this next question. If you had just one food, one of your favorite food that you could eat for the rest of your life, what would it be? You know, it could be jollof rice, rice and peas, you know, some patties, some KFC, McDonald's, whatever it is, fellas. But the aim of the game is to keep it light, playful, and fun, right? You don't want to be asking these boring, soggy, dry questions, you know, what do you do for a living? You know, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Do you know how much I hate those questions? Trust me, I hate them questions. Like, am I coming on a date or a job interview? You know, because when you ask questions like that, fellas, it feels like you're on a job interview. And trust me, man's not out there looking for a job. I already got a job. Right? So I didn't come on this date to be asking boring interview questions, you know, or answering boring interview questions. You know, I want some spicy questions, you get me? Some spicy questions with a little bit of ice in it, you know, so I could put on my rice. You know, yeah, I know I'm sounding a bit cheesy right now, but you know, keeping it fun, light, and playful. That is the aim of the game, fellas. Number 19, you could ask her, so, what's the wildest experience you ever had? You know, she could say, I don't know, maybe I went surfing, I went to Dubai, or maybe I went to Turkey to get my BBL done. Whatever the wild experience was, she's gonna tell you. If a girl comes out and if you ask her what's the wildest experience you ever had, and she said, oh, I went to Turkey, you know, for a whole week to get my BBL done, boy, that's an interesting story right there. I'd like to hear all about that if a girl ever told me that, you know. And then maybe I could say, boy, could I possibly get a field of the BBL, you know. I'm just asking for permission, but the aim of the game, fellas, is to keep it light, fun, and playful. Some of you fellas are too boring when you go on these dates, and you wonder why you're always going home with your dick in your hand, right? Keep it fun and playful, fellas, you get me? Number 20, this is the last question. You could ask your date, you could ask her, how good are your cooking skills, you know, because you want a woman that can cook, you get me? Because they said that the best way to a man's heart is through his stomach, you get me? So if she's good in the kitchen, then boy, she's got the heart, you know? You want her to work hard for the heart. So if she wants to work hard for the heart, she has to get in the kitchen and show you some cooking skills, you get me? And you taste the food and either you give it a thumbs up or you give it a thumbs down. Either way it goes, you know? You have to make her work hard for the heart, you get me? Work hard to get the heart, right? You don't want no woman that's not willing to put in no effort to get your heart, fellas. You know, you need to set standards for yourself as well when you go on these dates, right? Women have wants, needs, and expectations and their standards. So, fellas, you should have wants, needs, expectations, and standards for yourself. You can't be out here making women taking you for a little welcome mat, you get me? They come in from work and they just wipe their foot all over you. No, you can't have that. You have to set standards for yourself, brethren. You get me? So, remember, when you go on these dates, these are the 20 questions you can ask. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. You know, share the video to your brethren, your next brethren, your best brethren, your brother, your sister, whoever. Yeah, let them get this message. Fellas, elevate your game and stop being boring on these dates. I'm out. Peace.